Batman has a rich history of movies going all the way back to the Adam West, the very campy Batman movie with the shark repellent, Michael Keaton and Jack. Is it Nicholson? It's Nicholas is the golfer and Jack, of course, playing the Joker. Heath Ledger, of course, with oh man, Christian Bale, and I guess there's some Ben Affleck stuff too. Like Batman's movies have spawned a whole bunch of different ranges of heck, Lego Batman was amazing too. And this new Batman movie, The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz, is a Batman movie that also goes in a different direction, right? I think it goes away from the straight up superhero type films. It's definitely not campy. If anything, it is the darkest and bleakest of the Batman movies so far. And this time, they decided to move away from sort of your traditional superhero, clear, obvious good guys versus bad guys, and they structured the film to be more of a film noir, like a mystery, and there is a crime and Batman is working as a detective trying to solve things. That said, there's still a fair amount of action, and it's very dark. It is very bleak, and I also thought it was great. I was watching this film thinking to myself, like, am I the only one here that really enjoys this film? And, as it turns out, I checked the Rotten Tomato score after, and it's scoring very well, both in critical reception and the fan reviews. And I actually agree. I really like some of the choices they've made there. It feels very focused. Like, it has a very specific art direction to it, with like, it's very dark. They have like punches of red here and there. Yeah, it looks amazing. The action is very good. They don't do the Christopher Nolan, sort of like the super up close shaky cam stuff. You get a pretty good sense of how the fights are playing out, and the ways in which some of the fights are shot look absolutely incredible. And I think the biggest thing, right, it does feel like Batman. It is definitely a younger Batman who hasn't figured everything out just yet. But I think the best part of the film is the mystery side of it, where they take the time to build this story over the course of what is a very long movie. It's almost 3 hours long. But in that time, they make it count. There is a mystery to solve, and there are a lot of pieces to it. And as a viewer, you're engaged. You're like, oh man, what's going on? What about this thing? What about this thing? What is Batman not seeing? And they guide you through that story, and it's a lot more interesting than most of the plots of like, oh, Joker's trying to take over the city or what have you. And it is very fulfilling and rewarding as you go. And they also take a lot of time to build out a lot of the characters. By the end, you got a really strong sense of who Batman was, who Catwoman was, the main villains, and all of that. And it just feels like I don't want to say smarter. I don't necessarily know if that's the right term, but it felt meatier. Like there was just more to it than just like, I'm watching this because I want to see Batman kick butt. Like it actually had a really compelling story and drama and character development. And it did feel like a more well-rounded film. And so I greatly enjoyed it. Is it better than, say, The Dark Knight? I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. I think that movie also had incredible action sequences. It also had the performance of Heath Ledger as the Joker, and he's absolutely phenomenal in that role. And I don't necessarily think that anyone in The Batman had a standout performance quite like that. However, I think that The Batman is a great film, and if you are a fan of Batman, absolutely go check it out. And if you're a fan of superhero movies, check it out. If you're not a fan of superhero movies, this might be up your alley. Like I was talking with, after the movie, talking with my wife and my sister-in-law and her husband about the film. And I was asking, like, would your mom actually be interested in it? Because she's not into superhero films, but she really loves crime dramas. And Batman is very much a crime drama film. And yeah, it stars a guy in a bat suit, but the tent poles of almost like that procedural crime drama show are very much there and really interesting. So even if you're not into the kind of your traditional Marvel style superhero movie, this might appeal to you too. Overall though, like thumbs up, great film. Kudos to DC for a, you know, their track record on the comic book movies is inconsistent at best, but I thought they did a fantastic job with the Batman, and I look forward to watching more movies in this series.